welcome back to my channel and welcome back to this reading for Lindsay Lohan. If you enjoy this reading, please do hit a lovely thumbs up. Remember, you can join our lovely community by subscribing down below. I upload psychic readings like this every single week and I also have loads of other psychic readings on my channel, so do stick around. If you'd like to be involved with what goes on once this camera turns off, then you can also follow me over on Instagram at I am Kirstie Lewis. And if you'd like your own private reading with me, I am currently on a little bit of a break, but I'll be back in the next few weeks, so you can just email me at kirstieLewisreadings@outlook.com to be added to my waiting list and notified when they are back up and running. But without further ado, let's get into reading Lindsay Lohan. So, I mean, I'm sure none of you will be surprised when I say poor Lindsay Lohan. As I connected with her energy, I really started to feel quite disorientated. My head felt quite like spinny, you know when you're drunk and like your head's spinning? And I started to say to me, I'm like, is this her or is this me? Am I not feeling well or is this her? And they're saying, no, this is her. This is her mental health. And as they connected with her mental health, they kept repeating BPD to me, BPD. BPD, as far as I know, is border personality disorder. And I can feel that with her because there's a real split in her body of one side of her wants to be spiritual and connected and a yogi and natural and holistic and calm, and then there's this other side of her that's very, very traumatized, that cries a lot and is very emotional and very stressed and very tense and very angry and wants to rebel and wants to go crazy and wants to go wild. So she's dealing with this conflicting side of herself, and she's got like this angel and devil on her shoulder. It's like one saying do this, you know. And they kept saying 35, 35, 35, so between the ages of like 35 to 37. Now, I don't know how old Lindsay Lohan is, but I feel like she is in the stages of a transition, because I feel like at the moment she's really got to decide whether she's going to stick with the clubbing, stick with the drinking, stick with all of that, or if she is going to completely walk away. Now, she's not going as hardcore as she was in her teens. She's not going as hardcore anymore as she was in her teens, because in her teens she was absolutely, and it's no dramatising, it's no like dramaticness to say she was off the rails. She was off the rails, with good reason. But she still hasn't fully cut ties with people and situations and places that really don't serve her. I mean, as far as I know, she still owns her own club. She needs to let that go. She wants this spiritual life, she wants this holistic life, but she's having trouble letting go of that toxic energy because that to her is safe. Now, the reason it's safe for her is because as I started connecting to her energy, Spirit took me back down to her childhood. And she did have a very toxic childhood, not just in her career, but mainly actually in her home life. They're saying she witnessed a lot of abuse, a lot of domestic abuse between her parents, and it kind of traumatized her, to be honest. I feel like her parents were quite neglectful in the sense of they were so self-involved that they didn't really care to see how their children were being affected by this, or, you know, how they were developing. All they really cared about was getting back at one another. And the parents are both a bit, you know, toxic themselves. I mean, especially the dad, honestly, as I connected to the dad's energy, and I don't mean this, you know, honestly, it felt really gross. His energy felt really disgusting, to the point where I had to ask him, you know, did he abuse Lindsay? Like, his energy as I connected with him to her felt very, very sleazy, very, very just gross, creepy, eerie, gross. He was abusive, and he still can be. And although she finds it very difficult still, and a lot of the pain she carries with her is from her father, she's got to let it go. I did pick up on the fact that she won't have a long-term partner. I do feel like she's into men and women. I feel like Lindsay Lohan's bisexual, but I don't feel like she will have a long-term partner, because I feel like if she was to choose, she would prefer a long-term partnership with a man. But because of the relationship she has with her father, she can't have a long-term relationship with a man because she doesn't know how to have a healthy relationship with a man. The mother also was very, very controlling. very, very manipulative sometimes. I feel like Lindsay was very, very emotionally abused as well as a child. Like, she was made to feel bad, like, oh, we can't afford this month. If you don't go to work, then we're not going to be able to afford this. There was a lot of pressure put on her shoulders from a very young age, and Lindsay Lohan loved to perform and she loved to act, but they made it in such a way for her that it became a job very quickly at a very young age. And so she constantly wanted to break free. And so when she finally became of age, which to her was like 13, 14, 15, she could turn around to her parents and say, no, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm going to arrive to the set late, and I'm going to show up when I want to show up, and I'm going to do what I want to do, because the mum was the manager. And instead of being a mum first, she was very much a manager first. So when she had the opportunity to be like, no, she very much took it, and that's where she went off the rails. That's where she went off clubbing and hanging out with people older than her and hanging out with toxic people. You know, she was exposed to a lot of things a lot younger than she should have been. And, you know, if you look at Lindsay Lohan's childhood and the way her parents kind of moulded her / groomed, it's no wonder she went down the path she did, because there was no support. That's too much pressure for a kid. You know, to say, you've got to sort this out so we can stop arguing, because I feel like that was the case. I feel like they put a lot of pressure on her to be like, mum and dad are arguing because we can't afford things, when in reality that is the case, but that's not Lindsay's problem. That was their problem, and they should have been resolving that, not putting that on her. But it was very much put on her shoulders. So, you know, it all became a bit too much, and so of course she was looking for an escape, and of course she was looking for her own freedom. Lindsay's at a crossroads. She's really got to cut off the bad stuff if she wants this holistic, natural life. But I do feel like it's there for her. And as soon as I connected with the Lindsay Lohan, they told me adoption. And I also feel like she will adopt a child of colour. I can see Lindsay Lohan with a black child, and I feel specifically a black little girl. And I feel like motherhood will be the absolute making of her. It will change her whole reputation and her whole brand. You know, very wholesome people like Kirstie Teigen, who do baking on YouTube and, you know, have their own lifestyle brands and stuff. That is very much there for her. And I feel like motherhood's going to open those doors for her. And it's really sad, because Lindsay Lohan's super, super talented. Super, super talented. And I feel like, you know, had she have not gone down that road of drug abuse and partying and all of that, then I really do feel like she could have gone on to do a lot of things in film, not just in front of a camera, but actually behind it. And I feel like that's still there for her if she wants it. But she would have been an amazing film director. Spirit telling me she has such an eye, such a creative eye for things, such a creative flair. Had she have been able to fully express that without the control and without people taking advantage of her, she would have been an amazing, she would have had a very, I feel like she's had a successful career, but she would have had a more long-standing successful career in film. Let's pull some cards and let's see if we pick up on anything else, Spirit. So, Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan. Okay. Lindsay Lohan. Okay. Good to see. Lindsay Lohan. Okay, absolutely not surprised to see that at all. Lindsay Lohan. Okay. Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan. Yeah. Okay. Final cards for Lindsay Lohan, please, Spirit. Final cards for Lindsay Lohan, please, Spirit. Okay. Lindsay Lohan, please, Spirit. Okay. Lots of male energy, which tells me that Lindsay spent a lot of her life being quite dominated, and I do feel that which is why she's always been seen as a rebel. It's like she's not doing what we're telling her to do. And I feel with her, she's just always had this sense of wanting to escape. I feel like I just want to run. I just want to get out of here, which I feel like is why she moved to another country. Because she just wanted to escape. The Knight of Wands talks about progression and moving forward, and it specifically is actually focused on career. When I connect with Wands, I always talk about passion and arts and creativity. So I do see her moving forward with her career. There is going to be a happy ending with that. The problem is that no one wants to work with Lindsay Lohan anymore. And that's what happens in Hollywood and in the music scene. Not so much the music scene, because people love a rebel in the music scene. They love someone who's difficult to work with because they're more artistic. And the problem is in the movie scene is that no one wants to work with Lindsay anymore because she's seen as a troublemaker. So her career was very much put on hold. But I do see that there is new branding coming for her. There is a new way of doing things. I do see her going down a more holistic route, like practicing on well-being, meditation, yoga, but incorporating that into her, like on her Instagram and on maybe like a YouTube channel and things. I do see a turnaround for her. She's moving down a new path. And it's tied to the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is a very, very positive card. It talks about abundance. It's having everything you ever wanted, everything you ever dreamed of. That is to come for her. But I still feel like she's not quite here yet. I still feel like she's here. She's here. And it's confirmed because Spirit have given her the Hermit. She needs some time out. And by time out, I don't mean rehab. Spirit keeps saying Malibu to me. They just want to push her in like a really quiet, beachy resort place and just let her just shut away and really, really center herself. Spirit really want to take Lindsay Lohan down a very spiritual route, because I feel like naturally she is a very, very spiritual person. She has got a spiritual essence in her core, and I feel like she believes in all of this. I feel like she believes in spirit and the afterlife and tarot and psychicness. I feel like she believes in all of that, but she needs some time out. The Nine of Wands is about resourcefulness, so that's pulling on your own strengths. Lindsay Lohan is alone. If there's one thing I felt for this woman, it's the fact that she is alone. They just kept saying to me, lonely, lonely, lonely. I do feel like she's alone, and I feel like, to be honest, she's got to get comfortable with being alone. Because, you know, she hasn't really got anyone who's there for her best interest. The mother, honestly, is there for the money, which is why she was so controlling and so dominating over her in her career. And the dad is just a sleazeball. I feel like, has the dad got a really young girlfriend? Because Spirit just keep putting him around young women, and it's making me feel extremely uncomfortable. The dad is a sleaze, and it absolutely breaks Lindsay's heart. I can feel it in my chest, in my heart chakra. Spirit just want to bring her a bit of peace, because you know what? No matter what the media portray her as, no matter what we've read or what we've seen, if we've seen her falling out of clubs, on drugs, she hasn't had an easy life. Yeah? People get confused. They think, oh, because you've got money, or you've got nothing to complain about. But in reality, Lindsay hasn't had an easy life. I feel like she was put in not very safe situations to get film roles or to get money, or, you know, I feel like the mum was out running ragged with like Harvey Weinstein's of the film world. I just feel like there was a lot. It's very reminiscent and reflective to me of the Brittany Murphy reading. Okay, it's very, and I'm not going to shy away saying I'm surprised Lindsay Lohan's still here. So the fact that she's still here means she's got something. There's something she's got to do. But she's not there yet. She's not there yet. No matter how much she's saying I'm okay, I'm fine, she's not at that point yet where she can help others. Because I feel like she can help others, and I feel like she'd be very successful, like I said, as a director or as a talent agent, or having her own her own agency where she casts like females for films. I feel like she'd be so good at that, because she's a very nurturing and caring soul as well. She's got a very big heart, which is why she got hurt so much, because she cares. She's a Cancer, isn't she? She's a Cancer, and she really is. She really is. She's got a big heart. Her heart is just huge, but unfortunately, because she wasn't protected, and because no one looked after her, and because of course as a kid she didn't know how to look after herself, she just got completely trampled on, and it hurt. Like, you know, there's a lot of pain there, and so to deal with the pain, she went off the rails. Now, I don't know if she's with a man, but there was a man around her. Although this does also talk about her relationship with men and how she is incapable of having a relationship with men, because the King of Cups is a very loving man. This talks about men who are very loving and very caring and very affectionate, and the Ten of Swords is about kind of self-victimization and you know, self-sabotage. She does sabotage herself in relationships. She's going to be alone. I do just see her being on her own with this one kid who she's going to adopt. I feel like it's a little girl. I do feel she's of African descent. I feel like she could even be from Africa. But that is going to so be the making of her. And I don't know why I'm going to say this, but Spirit want me to say this. They are showing me a very healthy image of Lindsay Lohan with the long ginger hair, as we know, in a white suit. They're showing me her in a white suit on a red carpet. So I don't know if that's already been, if that's already happened, or if that's to come, but I feel like that's going to be a very significant moment for her. She's going to have a comeback. There is a comeback for Lindsay Lohan. Lindsay Lohan hasn't had her comeback yet. It's still to come. A lot of people have quick comebacks. So, for example, who can I use? JoJo. JoJo, when she was in the music industry, was very young. And she's still young now. She's only 29. Lindsay Lohan, when she has her comeback, is going to be about 40. She's not going to have a young bounce back, you know. She's got to go through this, because where this is leading her to where she's meant to be. It's all divine purpose. But if there's a man she's with right now, then baby girl, he's got to go. Because if she's in a relationship, she needs to be on her own. And I feel like that's another thing. She needs to be comfortable on her own. But there is, and I didn't see it, there is, no, do you know what? I'm not going to put this as a relationship. I'm not going to put this as a relationship, because I do see her being very celibate and going down a spiritual journey of being on her own and not having sex and loving herself and being on her own journey. I do see that for her. So I don't feel like this is a love affair. I feel like there's a man, like I said at the very beginning, people don't want to work with Lindsay Lohan anymore because they perceive her to be a troublemaker, and there's a man who is going to invest his money in her, and he's going to give her another chance. They might have a fling, you know, but I don't feel like it's going to develop into anything. But they are going to have genuine love for each other. Like, he's going to love her and respect her in the way she deserves to be loved. And I feel like as she goes through her late 30s, early 40s, all of those toxic people who are still around her, there are still toxic people around her. There's one toxic man in particular, and I don't know if he is a friend or a lover or a partner. He's got to go, because he's toxic. He's toxic, and he makes her feel rubbish, and he makes her feel just, yeah, like, you know, when you're having a bad day, he just validates it for her. Like, when she's feeling down and she's having one of her moments where she's on that toxic devil side of herself, he validates it for her. He's like, yeah, you should really feel rubbish, you should really feel bad, you know. He's got to go. But he's not the only one that's got to go. She's got to cut ties. They're literally handing her scissors, like, cut the ties, come on. But her journey was always going to be a slow one. And she's at 35 to 37, you're going to see a shift in Lindsay Lohan. And she's going to look a lot healthier. I feel like she's going to change her lifestyle, her diet. She's going to really be promoting this lifestyle brand. And it's going to sell. Because we've seen what she's been through. And we're going to see the positive results. She's going to make that money. Because we know what she's been through. We've seen her look unhealthy. We've seen her look depressed and sad. And we're going to now see her at the age of like 35 to 37 looking good, feeling good, looking like a badass bitch, looking like a boss bitch. And because we're going to see that, we're going to buy into it. And there are going to be books, there's going to be blogs, there's going to be Yeah, I see her really bouncing back, but she's not there yet. She's got about, unfortunately, Lindsay, I am sorry if you are watching this, but you've got about 2 more years left of turmoil before you get there, but it is coming for you. Bounce back coming for Lindsay Lohan, so do look out for that. And she deserves it. She's been through a lot. And you know what? At the end of the day, I don't really care what anyone says. She's super talented. I feel like she's very talented. And it would be a waste for her not to put that to good use. You know, it's never too late. And she's really going to have that story up. She's going to sell that story to us. She's going to show us that it is never too late. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how long things have gone wrong for you, or how long you feel you've made mistakes, or, you know, she's actually got a really pure heart. And as I move, she starts to soften. She's got, if I could make you feel how soft her heart is, she's not a bad person. She's not got a bad heart. Actually a very kind, sweet, nice soul. You know, everyone goes through things and it makes them act badly, or it makes them, you know, moody, and it makes them, you know, not very nice. But at the core of her being, I feel like she's actually a really nice person. She just hasn't had the moment to be able to show that, but she is going to have her chance, and there is going to be a man that comes to help her do that. So let's send a lot of love to Lindsay Lohan. Hope she goes on this journey sooner than we expect. I'm excited for her, I'm going to be honest. Being someone who's into spirituality, well-being, lifestyle, I'm very excited to see what she does, but I feel like it's definitely there for her. Definitely see the adoption, and there is a bounce back. So you go, Lindsay. You go show them that you can do it, because you deserve it. Thank you so much for watching, lovelies. I do hope you enjoyed this reading. Please hit a lovely thumbs up if you did. Remember to subscribe to see more videos just like this. You can, if you'd like to be involved on what happens once this camera switches off, for more psychicness, spirituality and all that good stuff, then you can follow me over on Instagram at I am Kirstie Lewis. If you'd like your own personal and private reading with me, like I said, I am currently out of the office, but you can email me if you'd like to be notified when I am back, and that's KirstieLewisReadings@outlook.com. Thank you so much for watching, lovelies, and I will see you soon. Bye!